3, 2, 1. Welcome to Bexley Maths Test 4. Every single question you can pause, have a go first, and then you can try the questions yourself. Let me get the camera correct. Let me spin this round. Yeah. There. Okay, question 16. M is equal to 2n plus p times q. If m equals 95, then 5, what's the value of q? Normal question, put in the numbers quickly. This, I think you guys are strong enough to do this in 10 to 20 seconds. You see the first bit, 2n. That means 2 times 7, which is 14. P is 5. And then it says Q, which is something. M is 95. Now we work it out. We know BIDMAS, which just tells you the order in which you do things. Work out that bracket now. 95 is equal to 19 times Q. So then, in order to work out Q, we must do the opposite. Just think of 95. Really, this question is telling you 95 times what is equal to, sorry, let me flip it round. 19 times what equals 95. And they're being really tricky. It's not the last one, okay? It's not subtracting. It is not 95 minus 19, which a really cool way to think of it is 95 minus 20, which is 75. Then you add 1, which is 76. No. So E is out. And if you don't know, they're being really nice with the multiple choices. Just try the first one. Why not? 19 times 5, does it work? Just do it with me. 19 times 5, first step. 9 times 5 is 45. And then 1 times 5 is still 5. Add the 4, carry 95. There we go. So that is the answer. It is A. Imagine if it wasn't the answer, then we would keep checking B, C, D, and then hopefully it works out. That is question 16. Next. Question 17. If Yasmin eats 1/7 of a cake and Melda eats 2/5, how much of the cake is left? This is just a totally normal question. We can do this in 10 to 20 seconds. We got the two fractions. We care about the amount of cake eaten so far. Let's add them up. We cannot add up fractions unless the bottom number, the denominator, is the same. How do we get that? You look at 7 and 5. What is the lowest common multiple of 7 and 5? We need to think of a number in both their times table, and the best way, the fastest way, is we multiply. So why is William saying this? Because we want to write them both in the same way. Both out of 35. Look at the denominator. 7 to 35, we know. Of course we know. We just done it. In blue, times by 5. So you do the same thing here. Times top and bottom by the same thing. Now the next bit, Imelda. 2/5. I'll just put that in green to color code it clearly. 2/5. We want this to be out of 35. How do we get there? Well, we just did it. We times by 7. Do the same thing up top. 2 times 7 is 14. We care about the amount eaten so far. We can now add the fractions because the bottom number is the same. 5 plus 14 is equal to 19 out of 35. Is that option there? Yes. They're being really mean. That is not the answer. Why? Because it tests the students who actually read the question. When you eat cake, what tends to matter is how much cake is left. 19 out of 35, we care about the rest. We know that is 1 whole, which is the same as 1 over 1, which is 35 over 35. Imagine a slice, imagine a cake, and there are 35 really small sections. 19 have been eaten, so we want the rest, and to do that we need to subtract 35 minus 19. What is that? A really cool way to minus 19, just like with the previous question. Oh yeah, previous question number 16, it's like they had 19 as well, so I've already said it today. Take away 20 first, which is 15, then you add 1, which is 16. So what we're saying is 16 out of 35. Good. That is the answer. It is C. It is a fantastic, but it's also a normal question. Question 18. Every morning Rosa gets out of bed and spends 34 minutes getting ready to leave the house. What have I taught you guys? Just go straight to the end, even if it's a really small question like this one. Only a few numbers anyway. 34 minutes. Takes her 1 hour 12 minutes to drive to work. If she starts work at 9, what's the latest time she got out of bed? Okay, so normal question here. We got these two numbers. That is the time taken, so we just add them together. You see, a nice way is actually to subtract them, and I'm going to show it in this video. 9 o'clock, she has to be in for work. Now, 1 hour 12 minutes, so we go back 1 hour first, which is 8. Now, go back 12 minutes. Now, what is that? Well, think of 8 o'clock. A really nice way to see that is actually 7 o'clock plus 1 o'clock plus 1 hour, which is 7 hours and 60 minutes. Why is William writing it in this way? Because 760, we can now take away 12 minutes. That is easy. 60 minus 12 is 48. And then one more step, because here 34 minutes to leave the house. Just go back. Just go back 34 minutes. We're good. 48 minus 34 is 7:14. That is the time. That's the latest time she can wake up. So A is the answer. In real life, you should never do that because there's always a delay, isn't there? I'd go half an hour before if I had to wake up that early. So half an hour, just go back 6:44. But today, A is the answer. Question 19. To make puff pastry, butter is mixed with strong flour in a ratio 22.5 to 25. Looks a bit scary to see a decimal in a ratio. Don't worry, it is not. How much butter is needed to make 285 grams of puff pastry? There's quite a lot of info. I've said this to my students. You just need to write out a table. Butter with flour. Don't like they put the word strong. That's pointless. Don't do that. And then pastry. So set it up with me. Here. Here. There. 22.5. 25. And we don't know. And then what are they telling us? Well, we want to work out 285 grams. So that can go here before I put it there. See, we care about the total so far. So what is it? 25 plus 22.5 is, what is it? 47.5. Okay, so this, if you're one of my students, I just call that the fake total. Now the 285, that's the real total because that's how much pastry they want to make. Just put that underneath. So there must be a way to go from the fake total to the real total because that's actually what we want to make. How do we get there? Times by what? Looks a bit scary. Here to there's times by what? You can just keep going up the 47.5 times table, which sounds like such a weird thing for William to say. Now with ratios, there's actually a nice way to see this. There's a 0.5 in everything, just double. Because with ratios, it doesn't matter if there's a decimal. You can always double it or times by 10 just to get rid of the dot. So I just want to show you a small example. If we had 1.2 to 5, if you just double the numbers, this is the same as 2.4 to 10. Hey, even better, times it by 10. So let me just change that example. That was a bad example. 1.5 to 6. You double that. It'll be 3 to 12. And then here, 3 to 12, they're both in the 3 times table. So this can be 1 to 4. So really, every time there's a decimal in a ratio, just double it or times by 10. Here, I'm going to do that. Because it ends in 0.5, it works out. So this will be 45 to 50. And this is 95. We're already so close, you see. We are so close. And now what's 95 to 285 times by what? You can kind of guess. Even if you don't know, you can kind of guess. Just go up the 95 times table. We're good. Just want to write this bit in, so don't forget, that's the first bit. We've actually doubled. Pink arrow shows times by 2. Now times by what? Go up the 95 times table. Not too bad. Not too bad. 95 plus 95, 190. Add again. What's a cool way to add 95? We can add 100, which will be 290, and then you go back 5, which will be 285. Now, how did we get there? There are 3 blue numbers, so we times by 3. What's the point of me setting up the numbers in this way? If we get there in one go, that will be times by 6. Look at the pink times 2, look at the blue times 3, so the yellow is times by 6. We just care about the butter. We can also work out the flour as well. You need to go here. 22.5 times 6. I'll give you guys 5 seconds. You can pause the video now, do it yourself. What is it? I'll just do it here as well. See, just check we get the same. 5 times 6 is 30. 3 up top and then 0 here. 6 times 2 is 12 plus 3 is 15. 2 times 6 is 12 plus 1, 13. So the answer should be 135 and the answer is B. Good. Question 20. So these shapes, these math shapes questions, I've noticed they just keep popping up. So this is definitely something worth going through, doing lots of these shape questions. What's the difference between number of vertices, that just means corners of a cuboid, and number of rectangular faces of a triangular prism? We work out both, job done. Cuboid, how many corners are there? I'll quickly draw it just in case you guys are not sure. What does a cuboid look like? We've got some, let me draw it a bit better. Here, here, and you connect them. Guess what? It doesn't matter if you connect them, because all I care about are the vertices, which just means the corners. You don't really need those orange lines, but just want to show you. Just want to show you. We've got 4 corners at the front, 4 at the back. So that is 8 in total. Next bit. Rectangular faces on your triangular prism. Quick sketch. Triangle at the front, back, connect. And that's the cool thing. When we connect it, it looks like a tent really, or that chocolate brand, Toblerone. How many rectangles are there? Well, there's 1 here, 2 there, and 3 there. So there we go. And really, they're just asking for the difference, and we know that means minus. So 8 minus 3 equals 5. I've just realized my numbers are a bit off screen, but you can see that here. I'll just put it here. 8 minus 3 is 5. Done. Need to change the layout of the screen. I'll do that later. Correct. Question 21. Cedric makes this pattern from 4 rectangles and a square. Each of the rectangles has size 12.5 and 2.5. So whenever I see that straight away, just work out the length of the whole thing. It must be part of it, guys. Look, that's 12.5. Here. Just do it, mate. Just do it. That's 2.5. And if you add them together, it is 15. Automatic. And it's a square. It's just some gigantic square. Or how do we know that? Because along here, that's 12.5. And that's 2.5 as well. So 15 altogether. Good. 15 times 15 is equal to 225. Good. That's the area of the whole square. And now what fraction of the whole pattern is shaded? So that's the grey one. I'll just put that in orange here. That. Now can you see it's really like the green bit and the blue bit. Now what we're going to do with them, well, it's only part of the green bit because we need to get rid of the blue bit. So that is really 12.5 minus 2.5, which is 10. If we go the other direction, it's the same thing. That is 10 as well. Just want to make sure that is clear. That is, oops, that is 15. Nope, that is 12.5. Okay, now that is 2.5. Just going to take it away. And you know what? They're actually being nice because they're telling you it's a square. So that's how we save time. That is also 10. Now they're asking you for area. Well, fraction of the bit, which means the space inside. 10 times 10 equals 100. And because they're asking a fraction, you just put one number on top of the other. I've just put the options here because just to give myself more room down here. Now, are there some of them which are just way too small we get rid of? Nah, doesn't matter. Just work it out straight away, job done. Put it, the orange, the center is 100 and the whole thing is 225 because that's 15 times 15, which is something I should have let the student work out. Yeah, I should have led towards that. 100 over 225. What times table are they both in? 5. Just simplify. And it has to be one of these fractions shown. Divide top and bottom by 5. We get 20 over what? I'll give you guys 5 seconds. Don't be lazy. Just do 225. Divide 5. The answer is 45. And the cool thing is, if you look at them both, they are still both in the 5 times table, so we are good. 20 divide 5 is equal to 4, and 45 divide 5 is 9. There we go. It kind of looks like half, really, but it kind of looks like the rectangles are a bit bigger than half, so I'm pleased to get 4 over 9. Just want to show you 4.5 over 9, that's half. That is an equivalent fraction to a half. C is the answer. Thank you so much for watching. That is the end of the video. I've just realized I've gone to 17 minutes, but we've only got 3 questions left, 22 up to 25. So we're 17 minutes in, job done. My next video, I will cover the final 3 questions. Appearing on the screen will be the previous questions if you guys haven't seen this tough paper yet. We're almost done with Bexley Maths Test 4. Thank you so much. I'll see you later.